Good evening, everyone. This is Elemental here, up in your grill, and tonight I am making what I call a do nothing post. Of course, I get a call. Anyway, this quarantine time has been quite difficult for me in so many ways, but it, my thing is like I usually have a lot going on in my life, so it's easy for me to come up with interesting content to post on the blockchain. But lately, I just haven't been doing a whole lot. I mean, I have like big projects I've been slowly working on and little projects I do here and there, but I've already posted about all that stuff. And I'm just really at the point where I don't even know. I don't know what to tell anybody. Like, I'm doing my best with my healing progress. I'm having an okay time. I'm really worried about income. This is one of the things I wanted to talk about. So, we went down to the World Gem shows down in Tucson, Quartzsite, and for Gem and Jam over the winter, around January and February. And when we after we came back from that, it was kind of funny because on our way back from Arizona, we stopped in the Bay, and once we got to the Bay, I was sick, and my buddy who I was traveling with was sick, and even Ginger felt a little bit sick. And then I hit up my friend in Oakland who I was planning on seeing, and he told me that he was sick and did not come over. And I was like, well, I'm already sick, so I may as well come over. And he was sick. And then so we were there for a few days, and I got better by the time we got back up to Portland. But then when I got back up to the house in Portland, there was like 3 people that were in the house that were sick. And this was, keep in mind, this was all like around middle of January. So it was like right before, or excuse me, middle of February. So this was middle to end of February, let's say, and it was like right before the whole like news of the pandemic, the plandemic, whatever you want to call it, started hitting, mainstream media in a big way. And so I feel like I already got the virus, and several other people I know got the virus because I was going to the gym like right up until they closed down everything. I was out and around a lot of people, and all those people that I mentioned that got sick were also in similar situations where they were around a lot of people, and they did not get sick again. And I'm pretty sure we all had coronavirus like before everyone knew that it was a thing. And I gotta tell you, it was like something in between a cold and a flu, but it wasn't quite either, and it had symptoms of both. It was really weird. It was definitely in the chest, though. A lot of it in the chest stuff, throat irritation. I've always had really strong lungs and a really strong immune system. I only get sick maybe once every 3 to 4 years. Um, it didn't really affect me that much. It was kind of just like a mild flu or something like that. But anyways, we get back up here and we have just tons of gems. I mean, some of the best gem stock I ever had. And not just that, but I've got all kinds of new wire wrap creations I've made. Ginger has new clothing that she's created, new herbal dyed stuff. I got tons of other like overstock from previous projects of t-shirts and stuff that I made that I'm going to sell at a discount. And we get back and I have all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, we're going to have the most amazing vending stand we've ever had. And we're going to do it on our own. We're planning to go to Tenasket Spring Fair, Okanaga family up there in northern Washington near Canada, and just doing a slew of festivals. I was even talking to my buddy in Oakland about buying a food cart and doing some food cart vending and regular vending at some really big festivals in Northern California and Oregon, and possibly one in Colorado. And none of that is going to happen now because everything is canceled. Like all the festivals I was planning on going to are canceled. All the vending events are canceled, and forget going to Spring Fair. That's been canceled. But also, I was going right before the pandemic thing. I was going to, after I got back, I was going to these different places in Portland and around the Portland area in Hillsboro, and going to these actual gem shows, local gem shows, not like the big ones we go to. And I was in the midst of coordinating with several different people that run these shows to actually get a booth at these shows and sell our gems at these shows. And now that's not going to happen because all the mineral and gem shows are canceled too. And the weekly thing that goes on downtown where you can unofficially vend on waterfront, that's the event that goes on near that called Saturday Market, all that's canceled. The last Thursdays is kind of still up in the air because that doesn't start till June. But those very well could get canceled too, and there's only 3 of them every year at this point. There used to be more. Um, and even if I did want to go to waterfront and try to do something, like, without there being a Saturday market in combination with the pandemic, like, nobody's down there, so it'd be completely pointless. You could sit down there and try to do something, probably get hassled by the police and get nothing out of it, telling you to go home. And then so I hit up my buddy that I was supposed to be working with. We had hemp processing jobs lined up for us here. It was going to be a lot of work, and while I got a very short-term one for like a couple weeks when like a week after I got back, ever since then everything's been shut down. My buddy that was managing a hemp genetics and analytics company is completely shut down. I mean, he's laid off. Everybody's laid off. That means the contract that we had to do our processing is done. We can't do any of that stuff. I'm not. So in other words, I have no income. There's no way for me to get income, and I'm not even sure I'm going to get a one of those socialist checks that they're sending out, or if Ginger's going to get one. We're going to try to apply just because we really don't have any other option. I'm not even really I don't even really support what they're doing with it. I mean, they took what was it, like $1 trillion from Congress or something? I don't know the exact number, but I heard it was like 75% more than what they're actually giving back to the people for what they were being funded from Congress for. So where's the other 75% of that money going? If we're only getting 25% of it, and by we, I don't even mean me included with that necessarily. It's just bogus. I mean, this is all social conditioning. There's just more of it in a way bigger way. How much can we get the people to accept that this, and this could be anything, is the way things are now? How far can we push that? And they do it in stages, and it's just like slowly ramp it up, putting more and more conditioning, a little bit more, and this time they're like, let's take a little bit of a leap and go a lot bit more and see how much of it sticks. And so not all of it will. It'll decrease back a little bit how it was, but it'll never be how it was until something else like this happens, and then it's super serious thing now, and now we just have no civil liberties left. So my question to everyone is, how far are you willing to let this go? When is enough enough? What are we going to do about it? Personally, in my life, for the short term, I'm a little bit worried. I don't exactly know how I'm going to do my grows, or how I'm going to assist in other people's grows this year, or even if I'm going to have the opportunity to do any of that. I really, have a lot of good access to not only cannabis genetics, but really good hemp genetics. Probably some of the best I've ever had a chance to grow is going to be this year. Getting a chance to do more things too at more places, and all of that is just so up in the air, and it's getting so close to grow time now that I'm not sure that much is going to happen. So I'm really rooting for getting all these genetics in my hand that I need, and things to start turning around. It's funny because when I started to make this video, that call that I got was actually my buddy that I was trying to get him to give me a list and referral links to the mold resistant and botrytis resistant Pacific Northwest cannabis developed strains that are specific for out here. Because I've needed them for a while, and I was afraid that I wasn't even going to get them for this bigger grow that I'm trying to help my buddy with. But since it's out at the coast, there's going to be a lot more fog there later in the summer, in the mornings and stuff, and in the evenings. So that fog can cause a lot of bud rot and mold. And if we get mold-resistant genetics in there on all the outdoor plants, that's going to do wonders for getting them a maximum amount of yield for the specific area in which we're growing, as opposed to here in the city where I have a little bit more leeway with that somewhat. We don't have the fog and stuff, but if you're anywhere in the Pacific Northwest, you're going to have to deal with the rainy season coming at a certain time of year, around October, November. So you really got to kind of be done at a certain time anyway, so it's better to just, have those strains. But I personally wouldn't elect to grow them unless it's in that situation where it's even more of an issue than it already would be out here, like with the fog. That just has to be how it is sometimes. You got to grow what you know will work. And in the city this year, I think it's going to be more just a whole bunch of the vampire cookies. You know, maybe like one or two other strains, but for the most part, I want like 70% of my grow to be vampire cookies. I would mix in DMT Dream too, but those genetics have temporarily, maybe permanently, but at least temporarily been lost. We weren't able to preserve those, which was unfortunate because that was really, really good. I'm actually almost out of that flower. I may never see it again. But I am really looking forward to the vampire cookies and growing a lot more of that, because that was my best plant last year. It was my most successful strain. It also had the best flavor, and when I ran the numbers on all my strains at the analytics place, it came back with the highest THC and CBD percentage. In fact, it was over 30% THC, which is a number I have not achieved from personally growing my own stuff without help from anyone else. So anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that I am trying to do things, but I don't really know a whole lot of what to actually do, and it's making me go a little loopy, and I don't really know what to post about anymore. So I'm posting this, and I hope you guys enjoy my little rant here. And what I really want to know from you guys is, are any of you having like the same kind of experience, like where you were working a lot before, and it might have not been like a, you know, traditional job, and you don't really have anything going on now? And what kind of like ingenuitive and thrifty and crafty ways are you coming up with to not just buy the time, but to really like pay the bills and survive and not completely deplete all your resources in the process? Yeah, I really wish there was opportunity for me to get some kind of income, really any kind of way at this point that, you know, obviously doesn't violate my personal codes of conduct. But yeah, it's been kind of a gloomy day here in Portland, as you can see out the window behind me. About to go over to my buddy's house to get this list of mold resistant genetics and deliver the pepper seeds I actually got from the account, the gardening channel on Steam. I don't know if he's come to Hive or not. I got those from him like a year and a half ago, I feel like. And I'm finally getting the pepper seeds over to my buddy, who's going to grow them, start growing them indoors before we transplant them outside. Getting those over to him just in the nick of time. And yeah, just wish there was more going on. I hope you guys are all doing all right out there. I'm doing my best to keep my mind here and now, and focus on the things that I'm still able to have focus on that are beneficial to my emotional and mental well-being, and just overall essence of my life force. Sitting here meditating, writing, and attempting to revive my vitality so I can be my true self again. I'm trying to strip away all the things that I thought I was, everything that is my character and my personality and my physical appearance, and just get rid of all of that, my memories, bad, good, everything, and get rid of it, and just find the peace at my core, at my center, and have that be me, because that is me, and that's all that is the real me. So that's what I'm working on anyway. Not saying that I'm always successful in it every day or even every moment, but I am doing my best. See my little finger here? Doing my best, and I can do a lot of things. So peace out for now. Like I said, I hope you all are doing good. Go do something cool for Earth Day. Oh, happy Earth Day, by the way. It is Earth Day. Raise it up for Gaia. I'll check y'all later. Peace.